In this video we are going to talk about top 10 motorcycles of 2022. Before continuing this video, like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. There are literally hundreds of motorcycles available today, suitable for various needs and price ranges. How do you decide? You may start by watching a list like this one. Top 10 best motorcycles in 2022 to get some ideas. Then, after utterly disagreeing, you create your own list. Number 10. KTM 390 Adventure. The KTM 390 Adventure illustrates that size isn't everything, much like the Aprilia RS660 did. The KTM 390 Adventure is refreshingly different while being equally capable in a world where adventure bikes are becoming absurdly huge and complex. KTM claims that the 390 Adventure is an accessible bike that can broaden horizons on highways, tracks, and trails in their media literature. The fact that they are not marketing it as an introduction to adventure riding per se is noteworthy, since this is a fantastic adventure bike regardless of that. It serves no purpose other than itself as a stepping stone. Number 9. Aprilia RS660. With the Aprilia RS660, an Italian pocket superbike, the adage "less is more" has never been more true. The RS660 is just as much fun and just as capable in a package that is entirely accessible in a manner that no leader superbike ever has been. While the RS V4 1100 factory is a beautiful example of excess in every meaning of the term, the Aprilia RS660 has all the technology you could possibly need, goes, handles, and thrills like a leader sports bike, and even offers a surprising amount of comfort. It is powered by a parallel twin engine, the RS660 reversing all that by being just as agile and lively in the corners. Which, let's face it, is where the fun lies, and doesn't lose out all that much on the straights. While big sports bikes get ever more powerful, extreme, and some would say, compromised. And it's so simple to live with, since it doesn't want to kill you every time you swing a leg over it. Number 8. Ducati V4 Multistrada. Given its designation as an adventure bike, the Multistrada V4 from Ducati might be the last bike you'd consider riding off-road, but that's okay because it makes a fantastic road bike in its own right. The new V4 engine is a great feat of engineering, replacing the V-twin, whose cylinder bore was reaching its limit. It is really a little bit smaller and lighter than the V-twin. One of the most competent motorcycles available at the moment. It has blazing performance restrained by astounding electronic complexity and is also incredibly comfortable and useful. It excels on any road, be it a highway, country lane, city, or racetrack. There are few bikes that can claim the same level of skill in just one of those categories, let alone over such a broad spectrum of riding conditions. If ever the term all-rounder was perfect for a bike, then it is this one. Number 7. Vespa. Although there may be dozens of scooters available today, are any of them truly as good as the recognizable Vespa? It was developed following the Second World War to both save a corporation and to meet the requirement for straightforward, inexpensive transportation to get a nation moving once more. It established a model that was subsequently imitated by everyone else, but infrequently, if ever, bettered. It became a style icon and a representation of everything Italian. Yes, they are more expensive than their competitors, but the quality is worth it. The current series of 4-stroke engines, which are no longer 2-stroke buzz bombs, are smooth, quiet, and powerful. The GTS 300 model is absurdly quick for a small-wheeled city bike. Everyone can ride them because they all have stepless, continuously variable transmissions. Number 6. HarleyDavidson Pan America 1250. The Pan America is on this list for two very solid reasons. First of all, Harley-Davidson had the guts to make a radical change, and secondly, it made the right decision the first time. When HD announced an adventure bike, the motorcycle community was prepared to laugh it off, but it soon had to retract its remarks when the bike actually materialized. Here was a very real and practical alternative to BMW, KTM, Triumph, and the like, one that just focused on being clever rather than succumbing to the pressure to be American. The largest and best surprise of 2021 was a result of the new Revolution Max engine. The chassis characteristics, the best brakes and suspension, and the electronics. Ingenious solutions to excessively tall adventure bikes, automated suspension. Lowering when coming to a stop, and making the bike suitable for a much wider spectrum of riders are all innovations introduced to the class by Harley-Davidson. Number 5 Triumph Trident 660. However, the Trident 660 is so good and has sold so well that it more than merits its spot on this list, even if there are many other Triumphs that could have been included. It demonstrated to us that a bike need not be extremely powerful, expensive, or sophisticated to be fantastic. It has a lot of personality, is cozy and simple to ride, and it will satisfy both novice and expert riders. When the road becomes winding, the little 3-cylinder engine is beautiful. Packed with power, mated to an excellent chassis, and it never fails to make you grin. At the same time, it is the ideal urban travel companion, elevating even the most routine journey. It's one of those motorcycles with an endearingly cheeky personality that you can just hop on and enjoy. The Trident 660 is brilliant in its simplicity even though competitors may provide more functionality. Number 4 IndianFSR 1200. Like Harley, Indian made a left turn with the FTR. But Indian took its cue from the distinctly American sport of flat track racing. Despite the FTR 1200 being completely different from the rest of the Indian lineup, Indian nonetheless managed to create a truly unique bike. It has a strong personality and is not for the timid, but for those who have the ability to control it. It can be quite gratifying. Although it has an unapologetically retro aesthetic, its performance is anything but dated, and it is cozy and well-equipped. In line with its flat-track aspirations, the rear wheel may find it difficult to maintain traction if the throttle is not used carefully at low revs, such as the 1,203 cubic centimeters V-Quick Twins torque, yet traction control is present to bring everything back together, at least on the S variant. Sachs and Brembo handle the suspension and braking, while lean-sensitive ABS and traction control are available when equipped. Number 3 BMW R1250 GS. Undoubtedly a popular choice, the BMW GS continues to rank among the best-selling motorcycles of any class in numerous nations throughout the world, love it or hate it. And the reason it sells so well is not simply that it's a BMW, but also that it is that fantastic. Yes, competitors like KTM, Triumph, and Harley-Davidson, see below, have greater power. But the BMW does appear substantial in comparison. You cannot dispute its capabilities, though, as it is both an exceptional long-distance tourer and an incredibly light and well-balanced off-road plugger. A rider must experience the suspension off-road to believe it. On lengthy, rough gravel sections, it's a magic carpet ride. The shift-cam variable valve timing engine transforms the rather lackluster performance of previous generations of the legendary Boxer twin engine. Cynics would argue that the electronics are necessary given the complexity of the motorcycle, but if they allow more people to enjoy the thrills of adventure riding, who are we to be critical? Number 2 Yamaha M209. When Yamaha unveiled the MT-09 in 2013, it saved its own skin. This Japanese bicycle stood out because it had personality. It had a great 3-cylinder engine that was snappy and smooth. And it was quick, light, and reasonably priced. The MT-09 received an upgrade from Yamaha in 2021, with a larger engine, new frame, aesthetics, and electronics. They weren't necessary for the bike, but it is better for them. There is no debating the bike's capabilities, even if you disagree with how it looks. Even if the chassis might support more power, the engine, which has 117 horsepower available, works in perfect harmony with the chassis despite the seat not being the most comfortable in the car. Currently, this is a terrific bike for long rides through winding country lanes, and is equally content to serve as an urban workhorse. It has a lot of features, including a 2-way quickshifter, lean-sensitive traction control, ABS, wheelie and slide control, and an electronics package often found on much more expensive bikes. Although the TFT Dash may be more enticing, you won't give it much thought because you'll be focused on the road in front of you. Number 1, Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. Even if the prior Speed Triple 1050 was flawless, Triumph merely went and made it even better in 2021. It is distinctive in that it is not a naked version of a fared sports bike, indicating that it is not a compromise, and Triumph has stubbornly followed its own course without caving into pressure from rival manufacturers' boasts of increased power. But that doesn't mean there isn't enough force. 178 horses is more than plenty, in anyone's opinion. The new gearbox is one of the greatest on any sports bike, and the engine is fantastic. Full of triple-cylinder character but smooth and polished despite the rapid performance. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, remember to subscribe.